Hello, Keysha Johnson here. Thank you so much for catching the replay. If you can be so kind and type in hashtag replay so I will know that you're watching. And if you're tuning into any of my broadcasts for the very first time, go ahead and type a number 1 in the comments. So I hit the live button and I'm out here now. Hi, Terry. So I normally just kind of jump right in, but I'm just going to wait just a moment. I know this is an odd time. Hi, hello. I know this is an odd time, and I wanted to come on just to kind of talk a little bit about this, just a moment of transparency. And I kind of put this off, and I was just like, I know I need to do it, and I kept putting it off because of the topic, and it is titled, I Stopped Believing. Why is this titled, I Stopped Believing? Because I stopped believing. And it took me going to, hi Tiffany, it took me going to a women's empowerment, I guess you can call it retreat or women's empowerment conference for me to realize what happened. And so I'm on here to kind of talk about it. And it's going to be, I guess, a mixture of things. I'm just going to allow God to kind of, not that I don't always do that, but to kind of lead me on what to share. I realized there were some things that have been happening in my life. Hi, everyone, in my life, and in in life and my businesses. Because I had gotten to a place where I stopped believing. I didn't stop believing in God, but I stopped believing in myself. Can you believe that? Yes. Keysha Johnson, right? That shows up every day to encourage others, motivate others, I feel like empower others, impact others. I did not realize that I got to a place where I stopped believing. And it's because of, and people that are closest to you will cause that to happen. There was something that happened, something that was said to me about 1.5 years ago. And I know you may be thinking 1.5 years ago and it's still bothering you. Yes. The people that are closest to you have the ability to hurt you the most. Hi, Burrita. And if I'm just going to kind of just talk, I will, as you all are coming on, I will, if you comment, I will try to greet you. But the people that are closest to you are the ones that have the ability to affect you the most. And because I let a human being, right, a person, make me feel like I wasn't good enough to do certain things, that I wanted too much out of life, and I was just asking too much and doing too much, said some things that literally, when I say, cut me deep down to my core. And it took me a little while to get to a place to forgive them because, you know, even like this morning when I was on live during Waking Early for His Glory, talking about forgiveness and we need to forgive. We know what the Word of God says, but my flesh was fighting it and not realizing, and I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, right? And this has been a long time coming, and I feel like God has released me to kind of get up and share, not get up, but go live and share. And the only reason why I'm sharing this is because I believe that there's somebody that's probably in the same place where I am right now. And, you know, those that are closest to you, like their words, I wouldn't say they have power, but I gave those words power. And then I began to feel like maybe I am doing too much. Maybe I am asking for too much. Maybe I am wanting too much. And then I got to a place where, number one, not only did I stop believing, but I began to settle. Well, maybe what I have is enough, you know, and listen, and this is not to say anything about anyone that's in this place, but I know where I come from, you know, coming from a family on Section 8, right? Coming from a family who has been on food stamps, and that's just all that I knew. And I always remember saying that we struggled so much, you know, financially, and not only financially, just as a family, like so many generational curses that I believe that God is using me to break, right? And you know, you're no longer on Section 8. You know, you're not on food stamps right now, used to be, and you're not there. So it's enough, right? It's enough. And I began to shrink back even though I'm still showing up, right? Showing up on social media, I began to shrink back and shrink back and shrink back and shrink back to the point where I no longer believed in who I was. I no longer believed in the power that I had. And this is just me, a moment of transparency, y'all. And I realized that I no longer believed in what I had the ability to do. I just no longer believed, and I began to settle. All because of, what people that were closest to me said to me. And not only that, in this last year and a half, I didn't realize, hi Keysha, hi Jacqueline. In this year and a half, I didn't realize that I had also been grieving, like grieving friendships, right? Grieving relationships. And I'm going to share this in particular. Again, I'm not going to say any names because this live isn't to hurt. Hi, Antoni. Is it Antonia? Antonina. And this live is not to, talk bad about anybody or to hurt anybody's feelings. But I didn't realize there was a particular person, a really, really good friend of mine, that was there for me in my darkest seasons, right? One of the few friends in my darkest season. When I was in a really, really, really rough place. She did a lot for me, did a lot for my family. And then I realized that over the period of a year, things began to change. And let me say this, when people no longer believe in you, when people no longer believe in what you can do, they begin to change, right? And I noticed the change in this person. I noticed how she began to do things differently, not showing up as much. Oh, I forgot, and oh, I couldn't find you, or oh, I didn't know. And I began paying attention to that. And although, and listen, I know this may kind of be just a hodgepodge of different things, but just bear with me. And I realized, that things began to change, right? And I began to feel like, what's wrong with me? What am I doing? Am I asking too much? Am I wanting too much? And they began, their language changes. Like, I see you doing your little this, right? I see you doing your little fitness thing. I see you doing your little wellness thing. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. And all those things are hurtful, still remaining loyal to that friendship that should have ended a long time ago because of what she used to do for me. Does that make sense? And so I knew in my heart that particular friendship should have ended a long time ago, but I was still trying to hang on. Well, she did this for me, I can't let it go. Well, she did that for me, I can't let it go. Well, she used to do this for me, I can't let it go. And even things like I would be on live, and you know how when you're on live on Facebook, someone will type in #replay. And so you would see the little green light. And then a second later, the green light would be gone. And I noticed this for months and months and months and months. And I knew, right? I knew that she was not really plugged in and tuned into what I was doing. It was just, I want you to think I'm showing up. I want you to think that I'm still here, but I'm really not. And it was very, very hurtful, right? Very hurtful. But here I am still trying to hang on, right, to this relationship because of what she used to do for you, what she used to do for me, feeling like I owed her everything, right? I think a lot of times we think we owe people our lives because, they used to help us in a season or they were there for us. And one day I had to make a decision and had to say stop, right? And had to saying this to myself, I know you don't really want to be here. Look, I noticed you checked out a long time ago, and one day just made a decision just a few short months ago. Here, let me help you out. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Done. That's it. And I'm talking over 18 years of friendship, right? I'm not talking about 3, 4, or 5 years, over 18 years of friendship. And then me realizing that when I did that, when I disconnected myself, never receiving a phone call saying, hey, what happened? She didn't need to call me to ask me what happened because she knew what happened. Does that make sense? And so that's just one of the many, wouldn't say many things, one of the few things that that I've been going through, and not realizing that not when I decided to disconnect from that friendship, but I was already grieving the loss of that friendship for months and months. And so with that, although I'm still showing up on social media, hi Emmett, still doing what God has called me to do, like that's all I know to do, and it's the passion behind what I do that keeps me showing up. I didn't realize that I was really depressed, right? I didn't realize that I was depressed, didn't realize that I was just grieving, right? I was grieving, and it took me going. I don't go to a whole lot of and we're just talking, right, y'all? I don't go to a whole lot of events. I used to go from one event to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other, just kind of searching for something that's already here within me, but I didn't know it. But that's another live. And so I'm really mindful of the events that I go to. I really pray and really don't go unless I feel like the Lord releases me to go. And in this one particular event I went to, and it brought so much healing, so much deliverance, and caused and just kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I had to sit and get honest with myself and say, wow, I stopped believing. I stopped believing in who I am. I stopped believing in what I could do. So we have to be really careful about the people that we have around us. We have to be really careful about the people that we have in our what we call inner circle, right? Because they will cause you, they will cause people that are afraid of change. And so what happened is because I began to grow, because I began to change, and they were still where they were with no desire to change, right? It's like, who do you think you are? You know, who do you think that you are? You know, do you think that you're better than me? No, it's not that I think that I'm better than you. I just want more, and people don't know how to handle that, right? People don't. I'll read all of y'all's comments. People don't know how to handle that. They knew Keysha, right? They knew Keysha. They knew who I used to be, and then these same people will continue to remind you of who you used to be. Right? Like, wait a minute, who do you think you are? I remember back when, you know, they'll remind you. And so I began to shrink back, so much so where I was just like, I'm done. And so with that being said, and I was just showing up for this purpose, there have been so many of you reaching out to me because I stopped posting about like helping women start their businesses online, right? This is not for any other reason, just kind of just to share. And many of you like, hey, what's going on? Are you still doing this? I'm interested. You know, I've been watching you for a while. And because I stopped believing and because all of this was going on, I didn't realize that I myself began self-sabotaging. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Dion. I began self-sabotaging and doing things that were not taking me in the right direction, in the direction that I wanted to go regarding my goals, whether it was business, life, spiritually, or whatever in general. And the same one that shows up, you know, talking about finishing what you start. I'm a finisher. Some of you call me Sister Finisher. Not realizing that I quit. I gave up. I told God, I'm done. I'm done because, you know, I was just done. Is this live number 3? I don't know. It probably is. Probably, honestly, number 4 because I went live for meditation. I don't know. Probably number 4. Where was I? And so I'm going to have to maybe not read y'all's comments right now because I need to, yeah, and that's why I keep notes because I'll be like, what was I talking about? What was the last thing I said, y'all? Does anybody remember the last thing that I said? And so anyway, I talking about finishing, and then I began to, I wouldn't say that I beat myself up. I was just really disappointed, feeling like I quit. And then I had to tell myself, you know, you didn't quit. I just had to kind of step back, you know, to number 1, allow God to heal my wounded heart because my heart was wounded over things that people had done. And one day I'll be able to tell this story in more detail. I just can't right now because, again, I'm trying to be mindful and not wanting to hurt anybody's feelings. But man, the people that are closest to you, right? Your family members, the closest friends, they will try to tear you down if you let them. And I didn't realize that the words that these two people spoke over me did just that. And when I tell you all, I shrunk back, started self-sabotaging, and before I knew it, I quit. It wasn't even intentionally. I quit. And then I was just like, how can I show up telling people, oh, you need to finish what you start, you know? And then I had to say, there's a difference between, hi, Juanita, not finishing what you started and having to pull back to take care of yourself. Like, I had to take care of myself and my mental health. I was just not in a good place. And then I was embarrassed, y'all, right? I was embarrassed because some things happened. And God gave me a vision. And I think I talked about this a little bit before. He gave me a vision, right? And because there were people that were close to me that did not believe in my vision, that had all of these negative things to say, you're thinking too big, you're dreaming too big. I know there's no way that God could have told you that, not you, right? There's no way. How are you going to do that? And then it caused me to start thinking, well, maybe I can't do it. Well, maybe I am thinking too big, and caused me to forget who I was. People will cause you to forget who you are. And I stopped wearing my shirt, right? And I put my shirt on today, right? Keysha Johnson. I'll type that in the comments for me. Somebody type my name in the comments. And I noticed I put my shirts up that have my name on them. And let me tell you why I have this shirt, right? I made this shirt not because I wanted to just, I'm Keysha Johnson. Listen, I created a shirt. I have banners on my wall. I have mugs that have my name on them. Everything, everywhere I look, I put my name on it because because the enemy, right, did everything that he could. When I tell you all that conversation that I had that day, and the enemy spoke through somebody, who do you think you are? Right? You're nobody. I remember the family you came from. Nothing good came out of that family. And I hated even saying my name. I'm just telling y'all the truth. I'm telling y'all the truth. I hated even saying my name. And then when I realized that, I jumped online. I created shirts. Everything I could put my name on, I put my name on. And it's all around my house. I got magnets for my car. Oh, you want to play with me? You want to play with my name? I'm about to show you. And I know that they may sound silly, but there's nothing silly about it. Like, I needed to do that for my own self. And even still, after doing that, I didn't realize just how much I shrank back. And because I chose, is a decision, right? Because I chose to shrink back, there were so many women out there that I have not been able to help. Even still, so many women waiting on me to show up, to do the thing that I know God has called me to do, but I allowed people to make me feel like I couldn't do it. To make me feel like I couldn't do it. And these are the people that are closest to you. They're the ones that have the opportunity to hurt you the most because they are the closest to you. And so although, absolutely. I was like, I'm about to show you. And I know people think like, why does she have her own name on her shirt? Why is her name everywhere? I needed to do that for my own self. So I put my shirt on today and I had to remind myself of who I am. I am Keysha Johnson, right? And then, and there's nothing little about me. Y'all type that in the comments because I say the same for you. There is nothing little about you and there's nothing little about what you do. And this is just a me being transparent. And so I woke up. I was reminded of who I was. I was reminded of what I can do, reminded of the vision that God gave me, and I made a decision that I'm no longer going to shrink back, no matter who likes it and who doesn't, right? It doesn't matter. Exactly. It doesn't matter who likes it. It doesn't matter who likes it. And so they had a lot of negative things to say about what I do. And I noticed, I realized that I was self-sabotaging, right? And there was a time where I would have maybe not recognized that I was self-sabotaging, and I realized that I was. And I was so embarrassed because things literally began to fall apart. And then that caused me to be depressed. Like, I worked so hard. God, did I not hear you? Did I miss you? What did I get wrong? What did I do wrong? And I started questioning myself. People that are closest to you will cause you to question yourself. They will cause you to question who you are if you let them. And so with that being said, I had to let some people go. Right? I had to let some people go. And I'm not big on, you just cutting people off. No, I'm not big on that, but I'm realizing how important it is to cut people off, right? That rob you of your peace. Hold on, reminder, sometimes it takes certain things. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And so, and I was going to get to that, and I'll just kind of skip ahead. So when I felt like things were falling apart, things were really falling into place. In that moment, it was hurtful. It felt like everything around me is falling apart. Not everything. That's just maybe a little exaggeration, but that particular situation, I felt like it was falling apart, but things were actually falling into place. And it took some people falling off and falling away. And so with that being said, and I'm going to shift it to this because this is really all a part of this conversation too. If those of you that are on here, if you're entrepreneurs, you can probably understand this. And it helped me to understand why I was doing certain things that I was doing. And I was just talking to one of my good sisters the other day about this. And this is something that a lot of people don't talk about. And I'm not saying that this is true for everyone, true for all entrepreneurs, but it is for a lot. Entrepreneurship can be very lonely, y'all, right? Entrepreneurship can be very, very lonely. And so I found myself, and I was never one to fit in anything. I've been trying to fit in since I was a little child, trying to be a part of something, trying to fit in. And because of that, dealt with a lot of rejection, right? In the spirit of rejection, because I felt like I was always being rejected. And I had to get to a place where I'm like, God didn't create me to fit in anywhere, right? He didn't create me to fit in. And so I was just constantly just craving being a part of something. And because of that, I ended up connecting to, moment of transparency, connecting to people and communities and things that I had no business connecting to. Right? But I thank God that He has protected me in all of this. And so I don't know if you're on here and you're an entrepreneur and you can relate to what I'm saying. And again, I'm not saying that this is true for all entrepreneurs, but it can be a very lonely place. And it's a lot of times like you don't know who to trust, who not to trust. And it's not about, living in fear, but it's just the truth. People connect to you for the wrong reasons. And then, everybody doesn't understand your vision and what it is that you're trying to do. And, you're so busy building, doing what God has called you to do. And people don't understand that. Not everybody understands that. And so I kept trying to be I'm sorry, that is Bo. Do y'all hear my puppy? He's literally over there snoring like a grown man. And so with that, and I feel like I'm just running around and let me just say what I need to say. And so because I was trying to be a part of something in one of my businesses, right, in my direct sales business, let's just call it what it is, in my direct sales business, and things started going on that I couldn't align myself with simply because of what I believe in, right? I could no longer align myself with that. And I remember praying and asking God, and I think I talked about this a little bit before on another video, and just praying and asking God, right, about another opportunity that would work for me, and Him doing that. And so I shared in that video, hi, good morning, that sometimes we need to be careful what we pray for, right? Because God will sometimes give us what we ask for to show us that what we ask for is not what we needed, right? Sometimes God will give us the very thing that we prayed for and asked for just to show us that what we're praying for and asking for is not what we needed. And that was a situation that happened. Things were going great, had lots of success. I felt like I was a part of something. It was great. And then, all due to one decision that one person made, everything fell apart. And it didn't have to, right? It didn't have to. But because I began self-sabotaging, that was the end result. Because are y'all following me? I began self-sabotaging, and I didn't recognize it at the time, but I recognize it now. I began self-sabotaging. Well, maybe it is me. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I am, have people in my ear, those that are closest to me now. Maybe you are asking for too much. Maybe I am dreaming too big. Maybe I do need to just settle and be happy with what I am, what I have now and where I am. Maybe I do think that I'm better than the rest of my family. Maybe they're right. And I began self-sabotaging, and that was the end result. And so all that to say, I remember feeling very embarrassed, right, over that situation, feeling ashamed over that situation. And I just said, that's it, I'm done, I quit. And that was when I said I quit. And so it wasn't that I didn't finish what I started. I was just like, I'm done. I'm done. And I remember it was about 2 months ago. What are we in, March? I think like late December. I felt the Lord telling me it was time to get back to work, right? It's time to finish what you started, time to get back to work. And I kept coming up with all of these excuses on why I didn't want to, and a lot of it was just due to being hurt. Hi, are y'all still with me? A lot of it was due to being hurt. We're in April. Oh, yeah. I was just like, what? When did it? So probably about 3 months ago then, just due to being hurt, and just not even wanting any part of it. And so, I don't know, all that to say, good morning. Don't allow people to cause you to forget who you are. Don't allow people to make you feel like you're dreaming too big. Don't allow people to make you feel like you want too much. But when you've had someone in your ear, especially someone that you love dearly, constantly telling you that you're not good enough simply because they don't feel good enough, right? Telling you, that there's something wrong with you, and people will people are afraid sometimes of your growth and who you are becoming, right? Because they are okay with where they are, and they'll make you feel bad for wanting more. Does that make sense? And so that's been my situation. That's where I've been. And, and in this time, really trying my best to encourage myself, and was just saying that it's time for me to get back to work. So I'm going to, and this is not there was no motive behind this live other than kind of showing up and sharing that, because I know that there's somebody right in the same position where I am now, where you stop believing. And so whereas I had people that I was telling me that I was dreaming too big, God actually told me I was dreaming way too small. I was thinking small and dreaming small. And I remember sharing with my coach at that time, where I was telling her that God told me that it makes sense, okay, that where God told me that I was going to be helping 100 women, 100 women to be financially free, right? Because I know what it was like to struggle. And let me tell you, I wouldn't even be where I am right now as far as, showing up on social media, running my traditional business, alongside of a direct sales business, if it was not for the direct sales industry, right? And I'm showing up because there are some ladies that I'm coaching right now, not necessarily in business, but they're kind of going through the Finish Your Lifestyle program, which most of them are business owners, and they're like procrastinating on getting things done. So these conversations come up sometime, and I'm always speaking from experience, right? Sharing where I've been, what I've gone through, how I've overcome, and just always being honest and transparent in that way. And so where I thought I was dreaming too big and I thought that number was big, I go from that to you need to get back to work. Oh, absolutely. See, the thing is, though, is different when they are people that are closest to you. And when I say that, that could be a husband, that can be a wife, that can be a mother, that can be a father. You know, it's hard sometimes not to listen to those. I'm not talking about outside people. I'm talking about people that are closest to you. That's what this is about. You know, those that are closest to you. That can tend to hurt. Their words hurt the most. And so it went from, and I felt like maybe it was too big. Maybe I can't do it. And so, oh, absolutely, absolutely. And that's exactly, if I can't describe it any other way, faith snatchers. I stopped believing, and yes, that's exactly what they did. Snatched my faith right from under me. Not like my faith in God. I didn't stop believing in God, which is what I shared, just me believing and what I could do. And I remember telling God, I didn't even want to do this live. I was just like, this is kind of embarrassing, right? You know, and I know there are some people that may say, you're too transparent. You shouldn't share that. You know, don't let the enemy see you sweat and things like that. But I don't know. I've never been one to show up to try to look like I have it all together. And everything is perfect, because it's not, you know. And so going back to what I was saying, I kept trying to be a part of something. Like, God gave me a vision and gave me something to do. And because I no longer believed that I could do it, because the people that were closest to me, that I trust and love the most, kept making me feel like I couldn't. And there were some exact words that cut me to my core, like my spirit, right? And it took me a while to bounce back from that. It took me a good while. And honestly, I still feel like God is healing my wounded heart and my bruised emotion just from those words, even still. And so because I was afraid, yes, I did say afraid, and feeling like I couldn't do it because people around me told me that I couldn't, I kept trying to attach to other people. And I shared this in another live, like attach to other people and their visions instead of doing what God called me to do. So that goes back to me realizing that I was doing that, because this entrepreneurship, if you're not surrounded around the right people, it can be a lonely place at times, right? So I kept trying to figure out, why do I keep, what is happening here? And so he told me, right? If you are not able to find what it is that you're looking for, build it, right? You create it. I'm like, me created? You created. Me created? The devil is a liar. Like, get thee behind me, Satan, right? You created. You go and create what it is that you feel like you are missing, that you're not able to find. You do it. Like, I gave it to you to do. Yes, it can be healing. It is. It can be transparency. And I've always been transparent. Let's see. Hi, Rhonda. This is good. I have to be honest. I've been a faith snatcher, thinking I had good intentions. I've had people snatch my faith, snatched in my vision, doing it alone. It is. It is the hardest thing. And so that's where I am right now, right? I feel like it's not even that I quit. Number one, I realized that I had to step back to get myself together. It was good for my mental health. There was some healing and deliverance that needed to take place, because I've been really hurt by people, you know, people that I've helped. And I'm not saying that I do things for people expecting anything from them. That's not what I'm saying. But there are some people that have really hurt me in this long journey. I think it was late, somewhere around October of 2015, that I shared. And now I'm going to share this part of it, and just because I feel like this is what the Lord wants me to talk about. It was in October of 2015 that I started in the direct sales industry, right? Some people call it direct sales, and there is in most companies like a network marketing MLM side. But for me, for the most part, my focus was more direct sales before I really realized, learn the network marketing side. But anyway, just been hurt by a lot of people, just been hurt. And I realize now, right, that it's all a part of my story. Everything that I went through, I had to go through. Number one, God doesn't waste a thing, right? I had to go through everything that I went through. When I tell you all, like, I have seen the good, I have seen the bad, and I have seen the ugly. And it is the ugly that made me say, God, I don't want any part of this. Like, I don't want any part of this. It is ugly. It is messy. And him telling me, you needed to see it all. Like, I needed to see it all, because what he told me is that there are people that he is going to be sending my way that are going to need healing, right? That are going to need deliverance. And they need to see that this can be done the right way, God's way. And I kept saying, why can't, are y'all still with me? Hold on, me too. And so I needed to, he was preparing me for the women that he's going to send my way. And every time I'm kicking and screaming, I don't want any part of this, I'm done, he would not let me quit. And I was talking to another friend of mine in business who kind of went through the last situation that I went through together, right? And we've seen the good, we've seen the bad, we've seen the ugly. And I needed to go through it all, right? I needed to go through it all. God does not waste a thing. And so I just had to get to a place where I was ready to stop kicking and screaming, because anybody that talks to me, you know, I have a lot of you reach out to me. Number one, you're asking, do you even still do it? You know, are you still like, where are you? What are you doing? You just stop posting, right? And that was very embarrassing for me, because consistency is very important, right? And so for me to kind of just be out there openly, that was huge. Number one, just sharing openly about that part of what I do. Yes, I have my traditional business, but sharing openly for the first time about me being in direct sales and helping women to start their own journey to entrepreneurship, because I'm finding that so many people, even now, and people would reach out and I'd be like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. No, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. No, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. So many people want to start their journey, their entrepreneurial journey. They don't know how, you know, they don't have the money. And again, with all that I do, you know, in wellness, and wellness being multidimensional, and being, sometimes the Holy Spirit will have us stop doing things. Absolutely. And so I'm excited, and I'm nervous. I'm thankful that my eyes have been open. I'm thankful that I believe again. I don't know. I'm excited. So anyway, I wanted to kind of pop on here because, you know, I know some of you kind of came on in the middle of what I was sharing. But I know that I'm not the only one that has been here. I'm not the only one that has gone through something like this. So I laid down, right, the vision that God gave me, not only because of what people said, what people thought, but because of fear as well. And I'm excited. I say that, I almost said I think I'm excited. I'm excited, but I think I'm excited. I'm a little, I don't want to use the word nervous, but I am. But I know that there are women that are waiting for me to show up. And I can't allow people and hurt and pain and fear to cause me to not do that. And the only reason why I'm on live talking about this is because I've had so many of you reaching out, and I was just like, nope, sorry, I'm not doing that anymore. Nope, I'm sorry, I'm kind of not doing that anymore. You know, I'm just over here minding my business, running my traditional business, and that's just what I'm doing. And God's like, no, you're not, right? No, you're not. You're excited for me, thank you. He's like, no, you're not. So I'm just thankful for what God has done, what he's been doing, just all of the healing that took place, the all of the deliverance that has taken place. And I think I just had to get to a place where I just got over the embarrassment of what happened, because it wasn't my fault. I can't control, how people do what they do, why people do what they do. And although this last situation was very, very hurtful, I'm thankful that it happened because it allowed a lot of things to rise to the surface that I had to deal with. And even in this situation, I always say, let me not say I always repeat what someone has said to me. She said that time doesn't heal all wounds. I've never said that anyway. I would say time doesn't heal all wounds. Jesus heals all wounds. But she said time doesn't heal all wounds, right? Sometimes we forget about it. Sometimes they lie dormant until, y'all type in until something comes along and touches that wound, right? Until something comes along and triggers that wound. So that's what that situation happened in my business, right? It triggered a wound that was already there, right? And I had to make a decision, and my decision was to finally deal with it. Are y'all following me? To deal with it. And because I made a decision to deal with it, right, I did the inner work. There was some inner work that I had to do. So that's why I say it. The enemy wanted me to feel like I was a quitter. Right? He wanted me to feel like I was a quitter. Why? Because he wanted to snatch the very thing from up under me that I was doing, making me feel like you can't show up telling people to finish what they start. You can't continue coaching these women on, helping them to get to the finish line. Look at you. You quit, right? Look, you quit. You're not a finisher, but that's a lie from the pit of hell. I am a finisher, right? There are times where God will have you stop doing what you're doing, right? In order for you to deal with some things. And that's where I was. So it wasn't that I quit. It's not that I'm not a finisher. It's not that I don't finish what I start. I had to stop, slow down, pause for a moment, do some inner work, and now it's time for me to get back to work. Hold on. This is my life right now. Oh, you're welcome. So yeah, I feel good. I didn't realize, I think I've gotten so good at I've gotten so good. I'm very consistent. So I've gotten so good at pushing past what I'm feeling. And always saying my flesh is not the boss of me. My spirit man is bigger than my flesh, and still being able to get done what needs to get done. And at the same time, moment of transparency, didn't realize. I'm like, wow, I was depressed and didn't even realize it, right? And didn't even realize it. I didn't even realize like how much of a toll these last couple of events took on me. When dealing, balance is very important easily when dealing with life and people just in general. Absolutely, Trina, absolutely. I love when you all talk back to me. So anyway, I'm excited. I'm just kind of on here chatting. I am going to do another live and just kind of share what it is that I'm doing, and I will start talking about it more. Like I said, I began to shrink back so much so no one even knows, what I do. So what God told me went from 100 women to 1,000 women. And I thought, wow, God, that's a really big number, right? That's a really big, not only is it a really big number, it's a really big, scary number, but helping 1,000 women to create confidence, consistency, and cash flow. Why am I putting it out there? Because now it holds me accountable, right? To do what I know I'm supposed to be doing and what God has called me to do. And accountability is so big. And that's why whenever he's given me anything to do, I don't put it out there prematurely, but whenever he's given me anything to do, I put it out there. Why? Because then I know that people are looking, people are watching, and, that helps to hold you accountable. I don't know exactly what everything's going to look like, but when he gives me something to do, I just say yes and take that, hi Donna, and take that first step, just like a little child. Then he gives me the next step, then he gives me the next step, then he gives me the next step. But I was sitting and journaling and writing some things down. Do I even want to share this? Am I even supposed to share this? I don't know. I don't know. Hang on. Oh my God. Oh my calling. Oh, Felicia, why? I don't know. Do you mind sharing a little bit more about why that is and what you mean, what you meant about saying this is where you are right now in your life? I would love to hear, because I think, that kind of encouragements me to know. Yeah, not saying that I doubt hearing from God, but I was like, God, do I really need to go live and talk about this? And he's like, yes, you do. And I put it off for a little bit of time. And I just said, you know what, sit down and hit the live button and open your mouth and I'll feel it, right? All I need to do is open your mouth and I'll say what I need to say to the people. So that's kind of where I am right now. So I'm excited, I need you all to say to yourself, there is nothing little about you, right? There is nothing little about what you're doing. I know with everything in me that God is, he has been and will continue using me to break generational curses, and the enemy is going to do everything he can to come up against that. And I know that, right? He's going to do everything that he can to come up against that. And I'm ready, right? I took some time, did some work, had to get myself together, and now I'm ready to just run with the vision that God gave me and ready to get back to work. And this time, somebody say, this time, I won't allow people, I won't allow anything to get in the way of that, or I won't allow people or anything to get in the way of, me believing not only in myself, but believing in the vision that God gave me. Because one thing I do know is that when people no longer believe in you, when people that you love, right, no longer believe in the vision. And let me tell you, the people that used to know you, right, the people that knew the old you, right, the old me before I got saved for real, they don't, I won't say this to be true for everyone, many of them do not know how, or just choose not to respect the anointing on your life, right? And I had to realize that too. And so when I tell you all, the devil, he can't operate without it. Oh, absolutely. And that's why I say you, and most oftentimes he'll use the people that are the closest to you. And so, and even if that's you, if you're on the other side of that, right? If you know that you have a family member and you've been that person, right? You've allowed the enemy to use you in that way. I say repent for that, go back to the person, repent to them, apologize, or repent to the Father for that. Because, had I not been as strong as I am, like the situation really could have taken me out, right? It could have taken me out completely, because that is exactly what the enemy tried to do. When I tell you he tried to take me out and wipe me out completely, that is what he tried to do. Close family has hurt me. Why would those close to me hurt me? Yep. I was about to say but God, but you already finished it off with but God. Again, we're talking about family members, right? We're talking about, well, I wouldn't say family members, but those that are closest to you. So I'm not just talking about like random people. These are people that have been there, that have been like close, inner circle. And where, it was hard not to associate with them. So that's what we're talking about here. And he will use them, those that are closest to you. And I didn't realize how hurt I was. I didn't realize how wounded I was. And so, I was going to say, yeah. Oh, you so for you, family and people in general. Yeah. And for me, I had a hard time. Again, I think I was talking earlier about feeling like having that sense of loyalty to people because of what they've done for me in the past. And I think for me, it was hard to disconnect and let go. Hold on. It was hard for me. I feel like my shirt's all crooked on me. It was hard for me to disconnect and let go, even when I knew that I should have. Like, I knew some of those relationships should have been cut off a long time ago. But what we do is, well, they did this for me. Well, they did that for me. You know, when I didn't have any food, they bought me food. When I didn't have this, they bought me that, and feeling that sense of loyalty. And that's kind of where I was in those relationships. And so when I finally got to the place where I let them go and allowed myself to grieve, and then from there, realized that I was angry, and then from there, yes, realizing that I needed to forgive, then from there, realizing, ooh, I need some healing, then from there, realizing, ooh, I still need some deliverance. And so just taking the time to do that. And some people were like, I can't believe you on live telling this. You know, there's just something about being transparent, you know, because I know there's somebody on this live that knows exactly what I'm talking about, and you're probably in the same place where I was. So, hi, Audrey. Hey, we're just talking now. So, anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns? And so, and another thing, this is an area too where the enemy always tried. It will. It will. Loyalty will break you if you let it. It will. And so again, I feel good. You know, I feel good. I allowed myself to grieve the end of those friendships, and just got to a place where I was okay with it. And forgave them, you know, for hurting me. They probably didn't even realize, you know, what they were doing. Maybe they did, but, you know, it doesn't matter at this point. They've definitely been forgiven. Bless, you just have to forgive, bless, and release, right? And that's all you can do. And you can allow yourself to grieve. It's okay to grieve the loss of, you know, friendships, the loss really of anything, right? It's okay to grieve. And just allow yourself to do that. It's all right. Hi, Lakeisha. So good to see you. And so, all that to say, I showed up live, and this is my way of putting it out there. I feel like I just punched the enemy in his throat today. Y'all say, punch him in the throat. I'm not a violent person, but I'm just saying, in the spirit, I feel like I just punched the enemy in the throat on today. I'm just focused right now. I'm clear on what my assignment is, and whatever that looks like. I just say yes to God, right? And he does the rest. Very focused, very clear. And that's kind of where I am right now. My phone is choppy. Am I still here? Can I get a thumbs up if I'm still here? It's like slow. I see myself moving in slow motion. Like, it's very choppy. Why is it like that? Yeah. So Keysha Johnson is back. All right. Keysha Johnson is back. No more playing small. No more shrinking back because of what people say. I'm no longer hiding what it is that I do because of what people say. I'm no longer at a place where I don't believe in what I can do, right? I'm moving in slow motion, but it's okay. And the hearts are moving, everything is slow motion. Everything is slow motion. And so no more self-sabotaging. And come on, we know when we're doing that, right? And listen, I don't have it all together. I'm not perfect. And we know when we're doing that, when we start self-sabotaging, right? Praise God, you are back. Blessings to you. So funny. It's perfect timing on that. And it's so funny. It's just like everything is like that. The hearts are going like this, like real slow. All right, so y'all, I'm excited. Oh, I was going to say, the conference that I went to, like, there was a time where the Lord had me just not going to conferences. Like, I literally didn't go to conferences, even though I wanted to, even though people invited me to, and I wanted to. It is breaking up. I wanted to go, but I didn't go because I used to hop from conference to conference to conference to conference and have notebooks and notes and never did anything with those notes, never applied any of the notes, just took notes just for the sake of taking notes, right? And I didn't do that. And so with this particular one, I was just like, I'm not supposed to go. But I thank God that I did. I really prayed about it. I mean, I didn't get all deep feeling like I had to fast for 10,000 days or anything like that. But I did pray, did fast, making sure that I was supposed to go. And I went and was so incredibly blessed. All right, it is very, very choppy. Let's see. Thank you for being transparent and sharing. Oh, so happy to hear that. So happy to hear that. And so, yeah, again, and a mentor of mine said, there is nothing holy about hiding. And that blessed me. I'll never forget that. Y'all type that in the comments. There is nothing holy about hiding. And that's what I've been doing. I've been hiding. There are a lot of people that had things to say. I think people don't understand, and this is me getting back to this part of the conversation. I think people don't understand really what direct sales is. That there's nothing. Yes. And when she said that to me, I felt that. I felt that. She was like, there is nothing holy. There's nothing holy about it. She was like, you're hiding, and there's nothing holy about that. I was like, ooh. She's like, you're hiding, and there's nothing holy about it. And I was hiding. Yes, in other areas, it was easy for me to show up. Like, get me to show up and do the 1-year Bible, in certain areas. Yes, but because people had things to say about what I was doing, like, oh, you're a Christian. How can you be in direct sales, right? Aren't you a woman of God? Isn't that a scam? How could you be doing that? How can you be a part of one of those things? I felt like I was hiding, felt like I was shrinking back. And when she said that, yeah, very powerful. I'm sorry, y'all. Excuse me. Uh-oh, sorry, y'all. I put on a lip gloss, the one that I don't really care for. And if I talk on live too long, it gets gummy. And I don't think I'm wearing that anymore. Oh, yes, that for sure. I talk about that all the time. And I remember one morning saying that's exactly where the enemy wants us, on our knees praying, right? Praying. It's time to get up and take action. That used to be me. Oh, I'll just pray about it, hiding in prayer, on my knees, on my face praying, but never getting up and taking action. So the enemy's like, yeah, you stay on your knees in your prayer closet. That's exactly where I want you to be. Never getting up, never taking action. You just keep on praying, right? That's exactly where he wants us praying. Yes, just praying. Yep. And we do that. We do that. I have been guilty of that. One day I had to say, get up off your knees and go do something, right? Faith without works is dead. And so, yeah, the enemy's laughing at a whole lot of us right now, a whole lot of people, not us. I used to be there, not there anymore, thank God. Oh, absolutely. And I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that, because I said, surely I cannot be the only one on this live being so transparent, sharing that I've been shrinking back. I have been. I've been shrinking back because of people, and so when I heard those hurtful words, and I told y'all, that's why I put my name on my shirt. I was like, okay, now you playing with my name. I'm about to make the devil big mad. Put my name on everything. I don't know. That could seem kind of weird to some. Like, why would I put my name on my shirt and wear my own name? Why not? Right? My name is everywhere. My name is on everything. It's on my screensaver. Anytime I buy my books, it's my name. I got the three big old magnets on my wall with my name. My name is on my keychain. My name, okay. I'm about to put my name everywhere. 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 And I remember being so hurt by that, like, wow. And I remember, I can still remember the first morning after that situation happened. You know how in the mornings when we're on Waking Early for His Glory, or really any video, I'm like, hi, Keysha Johnson here. And I almost couldn't even say my own name. I almost couldn't even say my own name. I can go back and find that live because I remember the day and I could pull it up. I almost couldn't even say my name for like that whole week. I almost couldn't even say my name on the live. Hold on, let's see. Why not? It's a reminder of what God calls you. Exactly. And that's exactly. Yep. And so the enemy tried to attack my name. That very next day, everything was on its way to my house with my name. My husband was like, looking at me like, why your name on everything? Why not? Why not? I'm about to make the enemy big mad right now. Anything I can put my name on. I put my name on pins. My name on my screensaver, every one of my computers. It really, you see my name. I was like, ain't nobody mad but the devil right now. Yeah, we do that. We allow her to do it. And besides, there is no one like, yeah, right, exactly. Yep. Yes, get up. See, you blessed me. Listen, as much as I wouldn't even say I didn't want to do this live, but you know how you have the people, never mind. See, Holy Spirit will shut you right up, right? Put your name on everything. And y'all, if y'all hadn't noticed, I haven't worn my shirt in a long time. When is the last time y'all saw me in my finisher shirt? When is the last time y'all saw me in this shirt or my finisher shirt? It's been a minute, but I'm pulling it all back out. It's been a minute, right? It's been a minute. Remember, every morning when I would wear my finisher shirts, finisher, anointed to finish. Keysha, I said, I'm going to put my shirt on today and get on this live and open up my mouth and make the devil mad today. Put my name on everything. Yep, that's right. Be loud. That's right. Put your name on everything. I use Printify. I used Printify. I went to WordSwag. I got the WordSwag app and I did my name. This right here is the signature from WordSwag. And I took that little, and you do it on the transparent background. I uploaded to Printify. I had my name on everything. Everything. Oh, I got that. Let me put my name on this bag. I got my mugs. I got my name on this mug. I put my name on a hat. I got some magnets I got the magnets from Vistaprint. I was like, oh, let me put my name on the magnets. I got little keychains, magnets on my refrigerator. You want to play with my name? I got some for you. Yes, I did. And it felt weird. I was just like, this looks weird, having your name on everything, but put it on everything. Yes, I love WordSwag. Your daughter took yours, need another. I'm going to put my name on everything. I sure did. Sure did. I sure did. Because I said, oh, now he's trying to attack my name. And when I say my name, not just meaning just my name, right? But the whole bloodline, right? So that was a big deal. That was a big deal. And I said, oh, okay, that's what we doing now? I said, oh, that's what we're doing now? Okay. About to put my name on everything. Exactly. Yep. All right, y'all. So Y'all will see me posting again. Y'all will see me sharing again. This is scary for me because, like I said, God said, you know, sometimes we are searching for things and we may have to be the one to go build that very thing that we're searching for. And when I'm telling y'all, I was like, get behind me, Satan. He said, you can't find that community that you're looking for. You go build it. You go create it. I'm like, do what? And he gave that to me to do. But I was the one that kept trying to align with someone else and their vision. Why? Because I was afraid to do what I knew he was calling me to do. And it wasn't even that I was afraid. I stopped believing because the people that were closest to me kept, you're thinking too big. You're dreaming too big. You want too much. And you should be okay with the fact that you're not on Section 8. You should be okay with the fact that you're not on food stamps anymore. And cause me to settle and shrink back, right? Y'all type in no more settling and no more shrinking back. And before I knew it, I no longer believed. And I remember saying, how did I get here? How did this happen? How did I get here? How did this happen? Like, how did I get here? That's what I'm afraid of. You go build it. I'm like, do what? Get thee behind me. I know the devil is a liar. You go build it. I heard those words clearly. And that's a very scary thing. Very scary thing. No more settling and no more shrinking back. No more settling, no more shrinking back. Oh, y'all are blessing me. Y'all are, because I'm not going to lie. I was a little nervous about doing this live. I wouldn't say nervous. It was just a very uncomfortable live. No more settling, no more shrinking back. We have work to do, right? We have work to do. We have work to do. There's too much work to do. Listen, do y'all realize how many people we're not reaching? How many people are waiting for us to show up? And we haven't shown up yet because we made a decision to shrink back and settle. No more shrinking back, no more settling. All right, y'all, I have to go. Thank y'all for hopping on. For those of you that said this helped you, thank you. That was just confirmation that I heard from God clearly to come on here and hit this live button, as much as I didn't want to because it was uncomfortable. And I did it anyway. I just thank God that he's given me a heart to obey, right? Because it wasn't always that way. It's given me a heart to obey him. About to make me lose this 9 to 5 because, that's huge. That's huge. All right, I love you all so much. Keysha Johnson is back. And I'm excited about it. And pay attention to people when they use the word little attached to anything that you do. Because that's the first, that was the first sign. That's the first thing, right? That was the first thing that I noticed when this person who was my best friend for these more than 18 years, you doing your little this, right? You're doing your little that, and it was very hurtful, but I let her get away with it, right? And so pay attention, because you have to remind people that there is nothing little about me. There is nothing little about what I do, right? Everything that I do is big, right? Big business, big ministry, big everything. Everything I do is big, right? And don't allow people to make you feel small. See, people will do that. They'll make you feel small. Don't allow people to make you feel small. You know, there's nothing little about what God has me doing. There's nothing little. Everything God do is big. God does is big, right? There's nothing that God has me doing that's little. But they'll say that. They'll say that. And because again, for me, it was loyalty to what this person did to me 10 and 15 years ago, right? Y'all type big in the comments. And y'all, before I knew it, I no longer believed. And I'm like, how did I even get to this place? People will do it if you let them. Nothing. Nothing. That's right. Nothing. I'll type big, big, big everything. Big. Hey, Keysha. Big. Everything is big. Big. Exactly. 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 You got it. Everything he has me doing is big. Everything. B-I-G. Big. Nothing little about me. Nothing little over here. And so every time they said that, it had me shrinking smaller. I was getting, is this the word? I felt like I was getting littler and littler and littler. I know it's smaller, but I'm just saying. You get what I'm saying? And that's what happened. Just being transparency. Most people are not going to show up and share this, right? They're not going to tell you this. And that's why some of us, do y'all know that there are so many people that allow themselves to go into a depression based on what they see on people's social media page, and half the time what they see isn't even real anyway. And that's why it's so important for me. I'm like, Lord, just help me to just, no matter what, just stay real and be transparent and be honest. Some of y'all need to mute some people and unfollow some people. Just a lot of people just, oh, never mind. People allow themselves to just go into like a deep depression, looking at somebody's page. And that's another thing. Let's get back to what I was talking about. So, right, in the industry, and let me tell y'all why I'm so thankful for the industry of direct sales, right? It taught me how to show up, how to run a business, all of the skills that I've learned, all of them, not some, all of the skills that I've learned was from this industry, all of them. And so when I tell you all that God allowed me to see the good, the bad, and the ugly, and he showed me all the good and the bad and the ugly, so I would see what not to do, right? So I would know what not to do. And so, I'm able to not only sympathize, but, empathize with people that have gone through some things and have been wounded and hurt by people in the industry, right? And so I was in a situation where, how can I say this? How can I say this? Where I was able to see that a lot of what some of the top leaders were posting as far as like their lifestyle wasn't even real, right? Wasn't even real. And that's why it's so important for us to really be mindful of who we listen to, who we're following, the videos that we're watching. Many people are just so steady. Just, y'all, we need to be careful. Burn the highlight reel. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I never want to show up. And then another leader will tell you, you should have never went on live and said that. I wouldn't have. God didn't ask you to do it. He asked me to do it, and I know that there are some that would say that, there are some, like that live. And I understand that they mean well. Even that other live that I did where I came on, I was just really upset about something that happened. I wouldn't have, why not show that, right? Why not? Why not share? There's probably someone else that's following you that's going through the very thing that you're going through now. And you need to show them that it's okay, right? It's okay. You keep going. You don't quit. You don't give up, right? You remain consistent. What happened? The next day I was back on my post, doing what God called me to do, right? Tomorrow I'm going to be back on my post, doing what God called me to do. You just keep moving forward, right? And that's all you can do. Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. I was like, Lord, help us. Lord, help us. Like, Jesus, fix it. That's why I stay in my own little corner and I just mind my business, right? That's just what I just choose to stay in my corner, mind my business, and remain focused on what God has called me to do, because it's so easy to get sucked into all of the drama that goes on social media. And it will suck the energy right out of you if you let it. So sometimes I see it and just keep on scrolling. Every now and then God will have to, say, tune into this live for nothing other than the purpose of knowing how to pray. And then I go on about my business, and people will message me, did you see that? I'm too busy doing what God called me to do. Nope, I didn't see it. Nope, don't even have a clue what you're talking about, right? I find everything out after the fact. I'm so behind on so much, and I like it that way. All right, y'all, I'm going to hop off of here. How long were we on here? Over an hour. So I'm going to hop off. And yeah, that's it. I pray I said something to bless somebody today. If you don't take anything else away from this video, no more shrinking back, no more playing small, and do what it is that God has called you to do, right? And just like our sister said, we serve a big God who does big things. Show up and do what God has called you to do, and show up big, right? Show up big. Good morning back to you. All right, y'all. Anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns, anything to share before I hop off of here? So I just feel so clear, I'm just really clear on my next step, just clear on what God has given me to do. And I'm ready to move forth. But this time, right? But this time, y'all type in the comments, but this time, I won't let anybody, I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. I will never find myself back in a place where I don't believe, or I'm questioning myself, shrinking back, questioning my ability and what I can and cannot do, because I won't ever let anybody, not another human being on this earth, cause that to happen again. Never. It is. It really is. It really is a blessing to be clear. It really is. And I thank and praise God. You're right. It really is. And I thank and praise God. I do. I'm sorry, y'all. Excuse me. Nobody does that on Facebook Live, do they? That was kind of rude, was it? Excuse me. As I got my mouth open wide. That's right. That's right. You said it. That's it. That's what this whole live was about. I could have said that in a few seconds, right? But instead we were on here for an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, so I pulled my shirt out of my closet and put it on and hit the live button. Yes, I did. Keysha Johnson is back, and she's ready to get back to work for real and ready to do what God has called her to do. And I'm excited about it. So I love y'all. Have a great day. Thanks for hopping on with me. And thank you all for those of you that have shared. It kind of let me know exactly why I was supposed to hit the live button and come on live. You know, and it's so important for us to do things even when it feels uncomfortable, you know. Listen, I always say if we're going to serve God, we need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? We need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I also believe that we need to get comfortable with being transparent, which makes us uncomfortable. So we need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable if we're truly, truly, truly going to serve God for real, right? If we're going to serve him for real. That's one thing I learned. You're uncomfortable? Good. Get used to it. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Get used to it if you're truly going to serve God. Because I tell you, I love you, Audrey. Thank you for always being such a huge encouragement. There are some of you that have watched my journey over all of these years. God is good. That's all I can say. God is good. He really is. He is good. So I wrote some things down, but he told me this was for another live, so I didn't share any of this. So this will be for another live, which is all right. Bye, y'all. I gotta go.